Assalamu alaikum students. We were discussing about the institutional representation of democracy. As we know that institutions are those institutional representation means that those institutions which represent the people of India, which represent the different institutions of India, like we have the different platforms where the people are represented, where the chosen representatives, they represent people on that platforms. We saw many platforms which we discussed earlier. Let's start the topic. As we saw this, we are revising the topics. As we saw, first of all, the universal adult franchise in India is based on the concept of every adult citizen of the country can vote only once during one particular election. As we know, universal adult franchise means right to vote. So every adult above the age of 18 years age can cast a vote in single vote in single election. As we know that elections are based on regular intervals after 5 years. So in one election only one vote is allowed. Now we will see. Next thing, we saw the elections. As you know, elections are the process of forming a government in a democracy. In India, elections are held on the basis of universal adult franchise. As we know that universal adult franchise in India is the right to cast a vote. As you know that India is the world's largest democracy. All the citizens of country who are above the 18 years of age, irrespective of education, irrespective of race, caste, religion, color or gender, have right to vote. So this universal adult franchise is one of the most important characteristics of Indian democracy. As you know that India is a diverse country. We have many numbers of religions, castes, races, genders. So everyone is given equal right to vote. It instills a sense of pride among the citizens. It means that citizens are having pride that we, irrespective of diversities, we are given right to vote. Even the poor people get a feeling of self-worth and self-confidence, as during the elections everyone is treated equal. So they have this self-confidence, self-worth that we are also recognized, whether from the poor castes, whether from the poor families, whether from the poor backgrounds. But at the election process, at the universal adult franchise, whether from the above caste or the below, everyone is given equal chance. Now the another body, the institutional body, is the Election Commission of India. As we discussed this earlier, this is the revision of it. So the Election Commission is the body that is responsible for conducting free and fair elections in the country. It's a 3-member body. As in the earlier video, I saw you the members of the Election Commission of India. Universal adult franchise, then comes the elections, then how these elections are conducted. It is because of the Election Commission of India, 3-member body, which conducts these elections, and these elections are free and fair. That means there is no money given to the political parties, there is no violence, there is fair elections, there is no biasness in any other form. So it is the Election Commission of India is headed by the Chief Election Commissioner and assisted by 2 election commissioners. So they are appointed by the President of India. So Ram Nath Kovind is the President of India. He appoints the Chief Election Commissioner and the 2 election commissioners of the Election Commission of India. The Election Commission announces the dates of elections, prepares the voters list. So this body gives the dates of elections, how elections and when elections are to be conducted in India. All the adult citizens of country who are eligible to vote have their names entered in the voters list. A voter list is printed out. There the eligible voters are listed below and each person in the voters list is given a photo identity card which he or she is required to carry to the polling booth to cast his or her vote. In the earlier video, you can see a voting card is given to the eligible candidates when they cast their vote. Even a slip is given to them so that they can represent in the election booths so that they can cast a vote there. Now we will see the elections. Is the process through which citizens choose their representatives who form the government. As earlier I said that elections is the platform, elections are the institutions, or where we can say that the citizens above the age of 18 years can choose their representatives who will form the government. The political parties held the elections. The political party which wins the most of the seats can form the government. In India, general elections are held every 5 years to elect representatives to the parliament. So every 5 years the general elections are held. Sometimes under special circumstances the government is dissolved before completion of the 5-year term. In such cases fresh elections are held. These are called mid-term elections. So we can say that sometimes the government is dissolved before the completion of 5 years, or during these 5 years new elections are held. These are called mid-term elections. That's why the reasons are that sometimes if the prime minister resigns, or the prime minister is ill, or the prime minister dies, or any other circumstances where the president thought that the election should be new, then the mid-term elections are to be held. If an elected representative dies or resigns before the completion of term, fresh elections are to be held for that particular seat, as earlier discussed. Such elections are called by-elections. These mid-term elections are held during the completion of this 5 years in the mid-term because of any reason. And also the by-elections, here the reasons are if the representative dies or resigns, then the by-elections are to be held. Now this is another thing in elections. This is called the campaigning. Campaigning means the process by which the candidates try to win over the support of the voters and convince them to cast their vote for them. Campaigning means to convince the people. The different political parties start their campaigning. For example, they start the rallies, they start the making posters, different big posters, so that they can convince the people so that they cast a vote in their favor. A candidate campaigns by giving speeches in meetings, organize rallies, going door to door, putting up posters with his or her name and work he or she proposes to do. This means they can make speeches in different meetings, organize rallies, going door to door to the people so that they can convince them and to cast them vote. Also putting up posters, big posters, so that they can convince the voters. Each candidate is allotted an election symbol which when the voters can identify him or her. The symbol also helps those who are not literate to identify the party to which a candidate belongs. The election commissioner allots the different symbols to the different political parties so that the voters can easily go and put their finger on the symbol allotted to the political party or the party they want to win, so that they put their vote on that party. Even the illiterate people, they remember or recognize the icon, the allotted symbol, so that they also can vote to their political party of their choice. Campaigning usually has to stop 48 hours before the start of polling. This means, this is a very important point, when the elections are to be held, before the polling starts or the voting starts, before that 48 hours the rallies, the campaigning should be stopped by the political parties. Before the elections, this is very much important. Each political party brings out an election manifesto. Election manifesto, what it means, which contains the policies and ideals that the party believes. It also lists the objectives the party wants to achieve, their views on important issues, a summary of the plan or agenda of the party. That is why what the party wants to do for its constituency once it wins the elections. So that election manifesto is a copy, is a type of copy where the ideals, where the policies, where the objectives of that particular party, like the BJP, they have the election manifesto. We can take that example. They have written that we will bring electricity to the people, we will bring welfareness to the people, we will bring different employment opportunities, different employment policies to the youth, or what things they are going to done in the near future. These all are things mentioned in their election manifesto. This is to impress, this is for the constituency where from they held the elections. This election manifesto represents the ideology, the ideals of the political party. Election manifestos are done, but these political parties, who are these? These are an organized group of people who have common ideals and common goals. Political parties create political awareness among people and communicate their views to them. Political party is a group of people, they have the common ideals and common goals. They influence people, they make them aware about the political rights, about the politics, and communicate with them. They share their views, even they make people aware of the various problems of the country is facing. They told them that there is problem, there is gender inequality, there is racial discrimination, there is caste discrimination. We will solve all these problems if you can give us vote. Political parties use television, newspapers, magazine, and other media to influence public opinion. They do whatever they want to do to influence the people so that people can get influence through their ideals, through their speeches, through different means of communication like the magazines, media, newspapers. This is all before the elections so that they can get votes in elections, so that they can win the elections. We will continue this topic in next lecture. Till then, thank you.